I want to look at the Melbourne Cup. You know, we saw all the protests around horse racing. We'll now move on to the protests that are heading our way for Australia Day before we get more protests for Anzac Day. That seems to be the trifecta, if I can use a bit of racing jargon there, of the things that people want to get angry about. We saw today down your patch, Andrew, in New South Wales, more claims by local councils that they're not going to support celebrations on Australia Day on the 26th of January. Let's have a listen to a councillor, followed by Jacinta Price, who probably has forgotten more about this issue than most will remember.
I think there's been a growing number of Australians and people in our local community who think that given the 26th of January does mark for Aboriginal people the beginning of colonisation, of dispossession, of the removal of children and the deliberate destruction of language and culture, that there's a better, more mature, more respectful way for us to commemorate the day that includes them.
Start treating us like individuals in our own right, treat us as though we are actually Australians and not some other separate entity, and respect that just because a small group of outspoken individuals are pushing for something, this is not the view of all Aboriginal people.
Andrew, Jacinta's essential point is this just creates more division rather than unify Australians behind a common identity.
Well, the inner west of Sydney is a funny place, isn't it? I mean, it's like it's one of the most affluent places in Australia, and yet you got guys like Darcy Byrne and I guess even Albo there, you know, and you know, kind of fighting the Greens or going so far to the left they've got to be with the Greens. It's bizarre. You know, people have got, you know, very expensive properties with nothing else to worry about but these fringe issues, you know. But Darcy Byrne, I mean, he's a mate of Albo. He's just trying to get a bit of publicity, isn't he? So, you know, good luck to him. But it's just it's a waste of time, isn't it? I mean, let's just have Australia Day how it is.
Yeah, let's call it for what it is. It's just activism on steroids. Renee, back on the issue of medevac, you and I have talked about this quite a bit, but reports today, 2 more people have come to Australia. They've come for dental treatment. I reckon a lot of pensioners in Australia would like ready access to dental treatment, but that was the reason why they were medevaced to Australia, notwithstanding the fact that there is dental treatment in Nauru. I've seen it myself, but they've come to Australia, and once here, surprise, surprise, like 45 others who have been medevaced to Australia, they have refused treatment. Now, this legislation will go before the Senate when the Parliament resumes. Where do you think it's up to?
I think the government's very close on getting the numbers they need to repeal medevac, and it's something that Scott Morrison and Peter Dutton want to be done. This is not just, you know, talking about needing to get it done. They want it done. They really want it done because they know that it has to be done because too many people are gaming the system. It's like, you know, a few months ago there was a case where someone needed urgent medical treatment in Australia because they were constipated. I mean, seriously, there's no Kumbantram up in Nauru or Manus Island. I'm not sure, but this just shows that the laws are being, you know, people who are using this are taking advantage of the laws, that they're actually trying to get here by stealth, because when they get here they just injunct the government, and it's a bit of a family reunification scheme. It's not popular to say that, but at the end of the day you can't be a fact skeptic. This is exactly what's happening and the facts are on the table.
Yeah, look, you're absolutely right. I'll have to leave you there. Welcome aboard to Sky News, Andrew Clennell. Look forward to working with you, and I know my viewers are intrigued and excited to have you on board as well. Renee Viellaris, as always, thank you for your time.